hotspot my phone, but that's all right. We're Gucci still. What's going on, Facebook? How you guys doing? We're Gucci. We good. It took a little bit of time, but we got here. All right. So good. Gonna start here. 14-hour days. We're gonna start the clubhouse room, and then we're just gonna get rocking and rolling. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Sorry for the delay. I had to get set up in my new house, and I'm getting used to it. Crazy value every day. Barney, my guy. I appreciate that. Cool. So guys, if you're tuning in on Facebook, Instagram, hashtag I'm here, TikTok, hashtag I'm here. Let me know who's tuning in. And if you're tuning in on Clubhouse, thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize for being late. I had to get my basically my situation all settled, AKA this is my new house and I'm not sure where everything is yet. I don't know where the best Wi-Fi is. I haven't picked my podcast setup, but that's all right. Guys, we're entrepreneurs. We solve problems, right? We get shit done. Okay, so we're going to start this podcast in 30 seconds. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get into today's episode in 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, we're talking about 14-hour days, aka what it took for me to get into the place that I'm currently living right now. So if you are tuning into the podcast episode, I just want to remind you that I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you ever get value out of any episode, you can screenshot it, share it to your stories, tag me at BMarkFit, let me know that you're tuning in, and you're automatically entered to win. We're actually not doing a giveaway right now, but if you screenshot, share, tag your story, I appreciate you so much. Okay, guys, so I'm honestly blessed to be in my new house. I'm super excited. And if one thing that I feel like that I'm really good at is learning how to navigate under pressure. And so this week has been a lot of pressure in the sense of random things coming up, different things that need to get installed, dealing with different fires inside of Pizza Domination, AKA not knowing where I'm going to be doing my podcast every single day. So right now I'm in the midst of learning how to figure things out. And I want to talk to you guys about 14-hour days, because I think that for those of you that have been following my social media journey for a while now, and you see what is happening in my life and you're watching it unfold, I think that it's really easy from the outside to not really have a full understanding of what it takes to get to the level that I'm currently at. And I feel like what you guys see on the surface on social media, when you guys see my TikTok following growing, you see my Instagram following, when you see all those things, it's really easy for you guys to see the surface level stuff. But what you don't see is don't see is what lies beneath. All right. Now, a lot of people say that they want to be successful. And so if you're an online fitness coach, what that looks like is you're looking to make $10,000 a month. You're looking to grow your business to a point where you can quit your job. You're looking to be a full-time entrepreneur. So a lot of people say that they want to be successful. And what they're doing is they're looking for the easiest possible route to get them from A to B without a lot of work ethic. I see even I have a lot of online coaches that will DM me, then they'll want to start their coaching business, and they'll be like, yo, B Mark, what's going on, man? I want to start my online coaching business. I've heard a lot of amazing things about you. But I want to start it so that I can scale it. I want to start it so I can scale it. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, I basically want to have a business where I'm just starting it and I'm scaling it, and I don't really want to do a lot of work. And there's a lot of online coaches that are trying to basically put the cart before the horse in their coaching business, and they're trying to get from A to B with the least amount of resistance, with the least amount of work. And so in today's episode, I want to give you guys the absolute truth about not only running an online business, but also now running a gym. And I want to teach you guys the truth about running businesses in general. And straight up, I just want to give you the fundamental frameworks and the mentality that it takes to make your business successful. And I'm going to help you, I want to give you guys also the fundamental frameworks so that you guys can make more money and start to succeed in your own personal lives. And in today's episode, I'm going to give you guys the truth of what it took for me to get to the level that I'm currently at right now. So, I want to talk first about Aesthetic Nation. So if you're new to my audience and you don't know what Aesthetic Nation is, because there's a lot of people that are listening that are new here, Aesthetic Nation was the fitness coaching business that I ran when I was a fitness coach back in 2014. 2014, 2015, 2016, I was an online fitness coach. So 2013, 14, 15, 16, for 4 years, I was an online fitness coach. And I grew that business, myself and my business partner, Cole, we grew that business to $54,000 a month. Now, in order to make $54,000 a month back in 2016, I'm going to tell you what it took. So not only did we had 250 active clients that were paying us on recurring subscriptions. So 250 times 300, you guys do the math. It was 250 times 250 to 300. That's where we were making our $50,000, $54,000. We had about 250 clients. out of those 250 clients, 50 of them were mine. Okay, I had 50 clients myself. I had 7 online trainers that were working for me at my business. And so I had to not only work with my clients one-on-one, like I had to mentor my clients, I also had to mentor my trainers who were mentoring their clients. And you guys, I'm like not joking you when I tell you that like I was working 18 hours a day for months on end. Like I would wake up and I would wake up at 5:30 in the morning. And this was back before I knew the importance of a morning ritual, etc. And I would get on my phone and I would start working on my client shit. And I would like getting back to them, replying to their messages, updating meal plans, training plans, checking who hit their workouts. I would do this from 5:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'd go to the gym for an hour. And even while I was at the gym, I was usually on my fucking phone because if I wasn't, I'd fall behind. And then I would, after my gym, I would go home. I would work from like 2 o'clock all the way till 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I would maybe get 30 minutes to myself in the evening. I'd go to sleep. I'd wake up and I'd do it all again. And I did that for like 6 months on end. Like it was literally 18 hours a day. And that's what it took at the time. And I'm not saying that I want to also touch on this in this episode because I think this is really important. I don't want you guys to take what I'm saying and say like, this is the model of the worldview that I want to adopt. Like this is like, if I'm not doing 18-hour days, I'm not going to be successful. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is like, that's what it took for me to get to the level that I'm at. And so this is my truth, because I think that a lot of online coaches, a lot of you guys are so willing to work 9 to 10 hours a day for $20 to $30 an hour, even sometimes less, at a gym or at an accounting job or somewhere else that's going to pay you 60 grand a year. Like you're so willing to go in and work 8 to 10 hours a day for somebody else. But when it comes to putting in 4 to 6 hours of work on your online coaching business, you get frustrated. You get frustrated and you get overwhelmed. When you're putting in 2 hours a day on your business, you like spend an hour writing a piece of content and you get frustrated that you spend an hour writing a piece of content when literally like one piece of content, if it sells you 2 clients, could make you $2,000, right? But so many of you guys aren't thinking like that. Or so many of you guys will work 1 to 2 hours a day and then you'll post your content that took you an hour, you'll get no clients, and then you get super discouraged that you didn't make $1,000 off a post. You guys, I worked 18 hours a fucking day for like years on end. It was like, so I worked 14 hours a day for years on end. There was sometimes that I was working 18 hours a day. Now I want to talk to you guys about Don Lamb, because Don Lamb, for those of you guys that don't know, again, there's a lot of you guys that are new in my audience. Don Lamb is the current record holder at PT Domination for the amount of money made in a single month by one of my clients. He made $124,000 in December 2020. He actually broke his own record 2 months ago, and he ended up making $127,000 in a month. His name's Don Lamb. He's from Kelowna, or he's from Kamloops, sorry. So Don Lamb, when he broke that record, in that month that he broke that record, his business was in massive momentum. And because his business was in massive momentum, he didn't want to take his foot off the gas pedal. So he just kept his foot to the pedal, like kept his foot on the gas. And that month, he told me he had $124,000 in 1 month as an online fitness coach without running paid ads. But he was working 18 hours a day, 6 days a week. And he literally only got 1 or 2 gym sessions in that month. Now, is that healthy? No, not as a long-term strategy, right? And I don't recommend 18 hours a day, by the way. Is that healthy? No. However, like sometimes that's what's required. Sometimes that's what's required to really break through your plateau and take you to that next level. And it really does, you guys, like if you want to break through to that next level, like you need to have like a sickening work ethic. Like you need to be like the hardest worker in your social circle. Like you should be the person that people look at and they're like, that dude is or that girl is crazy. That girl hustles. That like that's what you should be known for. I'm not saying this is like the long-term strategy, but what I am saying to you guys is that like this is like, if the season requires it, if that's what the season requires, then you need to be willing to pay the price. If that's what the season requires. Not I put in 3 hours a day for 30 days after my 9 to 5, and I only worked on my business for 3 hours a day for 30 days straight, and I only signed 2 clients. What are you talking about? Like this shit took me like years. Like you guys will see, like I've been posting a lot about like I just bought like my dream house. It's like literally like it's like a fucking, I literally feel like I'm living in a fucking dream right now. I'm sitting on the patio right now at my fucking house. If you can see, if you're watching this on the live or you're watching this on video, you guys can see this. Like this is like a castle. But what you don't see is that like I put 14-hour days in for like years on end. I've been recording a podcast episode every single day for the last 2 years straight. 5 days a week, never missing a day. Like, you won't see me go an entire day without being on my stories ever on social media, because that's the price. That's the price of admission. Like, that's the price of admission. And I want to talk to you guys if you're like, oh, but Brian, fuck that, bro. Like, I'm looking to scale. Like, okay, cool. You're looking to scale. You also have to figure out what ad sets work. And so if you want to figure out what ad sets work and you just want to pay an advertising manager to do that for you, that's awesome. That's going to be a $3,000 a month like overhead just for them to run your ads. Then you have to test out and see what ads work, which is going to take a lot of work in general. And if you haven't even learned how to fucking master organic traffic and you can't sell somebody off of your own current social media, like, what do you think is going to happen when you start running ads to complete strangers? You can't even sell to your warm market and you're thinking about scaling? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you guys see the success, but what, and the social media followers and the attention and like the financial wins and the house, but what you don't see is I work 14 hours a fucking day on like a regular basis. Like, I work from like 5, and guys, by the way, I count like keeping in physical shape as work, because like it's my responsibility as a business coach for personal trainers to be fit. And it's also your responsibility as a fitness coach for other people to be fit. That's part of your fucking job. And so I view this as like a mandatory. So like, I'm working from 5 a.m. I work on my mindset for an hour, and then I work on my clients, and then I work on content, and then I work on my clients, and then I work on content, and then I manage my team, and then I go to the gym, I work out, and then I do some cardio, and then I work on content, and then after my cardio and content, I get my video guy to come do some content, then I work on some team shit, then I'm running my Iron Energy gym, then I get home around like 7 o'clock, and around 7 o'clock, that's when I let myself watch like some TV, or I jump in the pool or do something like fun that like I actually like just takes my mind off of everything. Sometimes I take some marijuana gummies, whatever, right? But I work 14 hours a fucking day to earn that shit. And you guys want the lifestyle, but you haven't paid the price yet. Even guys, right now, PT Domination, super fucking blessed. You guys, like, we have 950 clients right now in the 10K Coaching Academy. We've got 40 mastermind students. We've got 157 students that have crossed $10,000 a month. We just helped another 2, by the way. Super, super pumped on that. And we're planning the event right now. And the event is like not a small event. Like, we are going to make this event epic, and I'm going to make this house a place that people are excited to come to. And I'm going to make the experience one that people will remember for the rest of their lives. And that takes work. I like, if you're in PT Domination, you already know this. I don't deliver a shitty program. Like, and so the first ever event that I'm going to host for my clients, by the way, for my client, you're tuning in, you're excited for the event, drop some fire. The first ever event that I'm going to throw for my clients is going to be it's going to be incredible. It's going to like blow your guys' expectations out of the water. And that's what you don't see, right? You see like the fun stuff, like you see the front end stuff, but you don't see the 14-hour days. What you guys don't see is that I stayed away from people for 2 years, 2 fucking years. I literally just was in my fucking house, just literally in my house building my empire. That's it. I was just in my house by myself, weekends, weeknights. That's it. I isolated myself to get myself into momentum and then to stay in momentum. Because everybody else in my life, like, guys, I'm 29 years old. Other people that are 29 years old are like partying or like going out every weekend or just catching their stride and still trying to figure out what they want. Whereas like, I knew what I wanted like when I was like 24 years old. I was like, I want to build a fucking like empire. Like, I want to make an impact. Like, I want my life to like mean something. I want to change people's lives. And so like, what my invitation for you is, Online Fitness Coach, if you're listening to this and you're inspired by my story, like being 29 years old, being able to create some of the shit that I'm creating right now, is like, put your fucking head down and grind for 2 years straight and watch what happens. But so many of you are trying to scale your business or start an online business where you only have to click a button and people buy shit off of you. And without like knowing how to make a sale in the first place. And not only, I also want to talk about like so you're lacking the skills. You're lacking the skills to actually scale your business. So you're thinking about scaling, but you don't even know how to make a sale because you're lacking the skills. So that's number one. And number two is a lot of you guys are also lacking belief. The second thing you guys are lacking is belief, because to put the work in, like to be able to work on your business for 14 hours a fucking day. And again, I'm not saying that this is like the one size fits all, because some of you guys might be working like a full-time job right now and you're trying to build your online gig on the side. And then if you are building your online gig on the side, then you should not ever be watching TV. You should be like working on your business for 1 or 2 hours a day if you want to be successful. If you want to be successful, you should be working on your online business like 1 to 2 hours a day. And So to put, the type of work in that is required to build your coaching business to like 10, 20, 30, $40,000 a month, like you would really need to believe that it's possible to make that kind of money in order for you to put 14 hours a day in. And you not only need to believe that it's possible to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, but you also need to believe that it's possible for you. Otherwise, like if you don't believe it's possible and you don't believe it's possible for you, why would you work on your business for more than 2 hours a day? And that's the sad truth, is I think that a lot of people don't believe that it's possible for them. And that's why when they look at my social media and they see clients like Martina Raskova hit 10K a month, Mariah Fontana hit 10K a month, right? Ainsley hit 10K a month. Alex Sundar hit 10K a month. When you see those clients, if you don't believe it's possible and you don't believe it's possible for you, you're never even going to fucking try. And you're almost going to write their success off as lucky or like they had something special. But in reality, you have the same fucking things that they have, and they just learn the skill sets and the belief, and then they fucking hit it. That's it. And the truth is that so many of you guys are doubting yourself. And because you're doubting yourself, you're not actually putting the work in. Right? Because if you have doubts that it's not going to work, the last thing that you want to do is to put all your time and energy into building this online business, only to think in the back of your head that it's not going to pan out. That's why you're not putting the work in. And so many of you guys never even fucking really try. The reason you're not putting the work in is because you're not even trying, not because you're not capable or you're not qualified, because that you're on a deep level, you're afraid that if you try so hard and then fail, it's because like you were never meant to make it. And so you don't try hard, so that when you do fail, it's because, quote unquote, you didn't try hard enough, which is basically a fucking cop out for why you're not successful, when the real reason you're not successful is you just haven't put the fucking work in. You feel me? So if you guys want to like get to the fucking next level, then you need work ethic, you need skill set, and you need belief. Like you need to be willing to like go all in, and all three of those things: work ethic, skill set, and belief. You need all three of those things. Like number one, you need to believe that it's possible, and you need to believe it's possible for you. Like guys, I'm 29 years old. I came from I was born and raised in a trailer park. Didn't meet my dad. Like don't have any university education. Like that's like, I'm just like you. I'm not different than you. I'm just like you. So not only is it possible, it's possible for somebody like me, which means it's possible for somebody like you. Okay. Now that's number one. It's like the belief, like it's not only possible, but it's possible for me. I could fucking do this. Like it is like a reality that I could see myself. Like I could see myself doing that. Right. So that's number one. Then number two is like, you need to develop skills. And the only way you develop skills is by actually like really putting in work, like work. Like I'm not talking about like 1 hour a day scrolling on social media and then 20 minutes a day kind of watching a fucking video in the 10K Academy. I mean fucking work. Like you're like there, you're like studying, you're like taking notes, you're asking questions, you're engaging in your community. Like I'm talking like, if you think you're working hard, work fucking harder. I'm serious. Like I don't think there's anyone that's listening to this live stream right now that is like, that has the level of work ethic that I'm actually describing in this live. Like you can work harder for sure, or you can work smarter, or you can hire another person, or you could be doing better. Like you could be doing something more for sure, hands down. And I know that because I also am the same way. Like no matter, it's like, I read this quote on Instagram from Lowe's Hustle, and it was like poor people. It was from Lowe's Hustle. It said, poor people don't work hard, and then they wonder why they're not successful. And wealthy people work super fucking hard and think that they're not working hard enough. And like, that's like where you should get to, is to like have that mentality. Like, I'm not like, I need to be working fucking harder. Like I need to be working harder. Like I need to be going harder. I could be doing more, because you guys, like, I'm just like you, 29 years old, just moved to my dream house. And like, yes, it's like a fucking mansion. And you see the success, but what you don't see is like, I've been putting 14-hour days in for fucking years. Years. And not just 14-hour days, you guys, but I'm talking about 14-hour days going all fucking in. All in. Like no way back. Like setting the bridge on fire. Like walking across the bridge of like going after my dreams, and then looking back, pouring some gasoline on the bridge and setting it on fire and be like, I will never go back. I don't know if I think I've told this on the podcast, the story on the podcast before. I'm going to tell it again because I feel like it's like the right time. I remember when I quit my bartending job. This is not a joke. This is like a real thing. I walked up to my general manager that I was like working at the bar. I walked up to him. I was like, hey man, I got to tell you something. He's like, yeah, what's up? I was like, number one, I love that you gave me the opportunity to work here. And for the last 2 years, I've been like so fucking grateful that, I've had the chance to work for you. It's been so awesome. But I'm quitting because I no longer like talking to people about things that I don't care about. And when I talk to your customers, I'm literally just zoning out and thinking about working on my online business. I'm completely not passionate about this anymore, and I'm quitting, and I never want you to hire me again because I really don't like it on a deep level. And so if you hire me again, I will be a bad bartender for your customers. I literally walked into my fucking manager's office, and I quit, and I set the bridge on fire. Oh, bunch of gasoline. Hey man, I really fucking don't like working here. So don't hire me, because if you hire me, I'm going to be shitty to the customers. Like, that's the fucking level that I play at. And if you want to be successful at some point in your fucking journey, you need to get to that level too, where you need to be like, I'm fucking all in. There's no going back. You guys feel me? And not only that, but also to believe that the work that you were putting in will lead you to where you want to get to. Whether that be 10K a month, 20K a month, quitting your job, going full-time all in, whatever it is. Yo, and the truth is, like, you have to believe in yourself. And I know that sounds super cheesy and like, blah, 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 believe in yourself, blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? But like, you need to see yourself doing it. You need to see yourself doing the thing. And the truth is, like, I believe in myself so fucking hard. Like, I believe in myself so hard that I believe I'm destined for success. And I've like always had this belief that I can do anything. And I think it stemmed from like early childhood. Like, my auntie would always say things to me like, oh, you're such a smart boy. Like, you can do anything you want. You have so much potential. You can do anything that you want. You have so much potential. And then finally, at some point, I started believing in myself too. And now, not only do I believe that I have potential, but I believe in what I'm doing, and I believe in my mission. And I got a message from one of my clients. Her name's Hannah Furman. She's in the 10K Academy. Got a message from one of my clients today, and she was like, yo, B Mark, I got to tell you something. She's like, I've had other business coaches before you, and I literally spent so much money and got no return. There was no community. And I feel like in your coaching program, like, I'm like, this is the first time in my life that I've made progress. She's like, I just hit $2,500 for the first time ever. And I know it's not a lot. And I know I'm not like one of your 10K students, but like, every month that I've been with you, my income has grown and I'm learning so much. And I'm so happy to be in the community. And you've literally forever changed my life. Thank you so much. And so not only do I get to like the blessing of like, helping 157 students cross $10,000 a month, but also getting messages like this and being like, yo, like, because of you, my life has changed. I'm like never going to fucking stop. The only way I'll stop is when I'm dead. And the truth is, I want to hit you guys with this line. I really want you guys to fucking hear this part right here. The truth is, if you can put the fucking work in, and if you believe in yourself so fucking hard, eventually you will succeed. That's the truth. If you can put the fucking work in and you believe in yourself so hard, eventually you will succeed. One more time. If you can put the work in and you believe in yourself so hard, eventually you will succeed. But like, what if you don't believe in yourself? What if you're listening to this and you're like, but like, Brian, like, I don't believe in myself. Like, when I was younger, my dad would always tell me that I didn't do good enough. And so I always felt like less than. Or I was the middle child, and so I was always ignored, and so no one ever paid any attention to me. So I don't think my life has value. Or my mom wasn't around, and so because my mom wasn't around, I felt like nobody loved me. What if I don't believe in myself? What if you don't believe in yourself? I was talking to Kirsten the other day, my fiance, talking to Kirsten, and she's like, Brian, like, I feel like one of your coach superpowers. She's like, I feel like one of your superpowers as a coach and as a mentor is you believe in people so much that they start to believe in themselves. And I was like, yo, that's fucking fire. She said, you believe in people so much that they start to believe in themselves. I'm curious, if you're in the 10K Coaching Academy, how much of that is true for you? How much of that is true for you? If you're in the 10K Academy, how many of you guys feel that the 10K Academy believed in you so much that you started to believe in yourself? How many of you guys feel that? So, if you don't believe in yourself, then you need to hire somebody that believes in you. Janelle Wheel, Josh is tuning in. Joshua Cordoba, Seti, Darun. So many of my clients are commenting on this right now. Lisa, if you don't believe in yourself, then you need to hire a coach that believes in you. And guys, not only that, because eventually what's going to happen is you're going to be around people that believe in you so much for so long that their belief is going to rub off on you. And all of a sudden you're going to look at yourself and it's like me, my job as a coach is to look at you and be like, yo, you can fucking do this. You can do this. I believe in you. And then eventually, like the coaches at the 10K Academy say that to you so often, so frequently, in a way that's so sincere that you start to believe it. And then one day you wake up and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, yo, Yaz, you can fucking do this. You can hit 10K. And then you do it. I get chills. I got chills right now. I got chills talking about this. Yo, I believe in you. If you're listening to this right now and you feel like the number one thing that you struggle with is self-belief, I'm going to be straight with you guys. Like, reach out and ask for help. Just be like, yo, B Mark, listen to your podcast on belief, and like, I'm ready. I want to learn. Hire me. I will help you. It's my job. And my job is not only to like help you, but like to give way more than I ask for. If you're in the 10K Academy, you know this. Like, the 10K Academy gives way more than it asks for. The investment is so small compared to the value that you get on the back end, which is so massive. You get a community, you get constant support, you get constant live streams, you get a course that fucking works, that's proven to work over and over and over and over again. All the coaches. If you're ready to put the work in, yo, reach out. Be like, I'm ready. Let's fucking do this. Guys, seeds become trees over time. Seeds become trees over time. So what we need to do, this is what you need to do if you're listening right here, okay? I'm going to fucking give you the goodies. This is what you need to do. Number one is you need to decide what sort of major life goals that you want to accomplish. And like, don't fucking downplay yourself. Like, I'm living in a fucking mansion right now, okay? Like, I'm living in a fucking like the dream house. So don't downplay yourself and like say, oh, it would be okay if I just made 5K. You can do bigger. You can do better. So let's commit to some major life goals right now. Maybe it's 10K a month. Maybe it's 50K a month. Maybe you want a team of 1,000 clients. So decide what sort of major life goals are extremely important to you. Number two is to attack those major life goals with relentless hours. Like, at times, right? If you're listening to this right now and you've got a full-time job, you're like, Brian, I can't put in more than 2 hours a day in my fucking coaching business. Good. Then when you have 2 hours a day, you better be all fucking in. Those better be like timed intervals where you turn off your distractions, you turn off your notifications, and you're literally all fucking in. If you're in a coaching program, you're not looking at anything other than the video on the screen, and you're sitting there with your fucking pen and paper and you're taking notes so you can be the best possible student, so you can get the next piece of insight that's going to help you reach that next level. And then at some point, you'll need to go all in, and so decide what sort of major life goals that you want. Attack those major life goals with relentless effort. If you have 1 to 2 hours, relentless effort for 1 to 2 hours. If you have big goals, then relentless effort for a few hours a day, obviously taking breaks to relax and chill and decompress. And then at some point, the number 3 is you need to incinerate the fucking bridge. You need to walk across the bridge, and you might be listening to this right now, and this might be the time for you. If you're making 3 to 5K a month and you want to get to 10K and you've been like hanging on to your other job because it's comfortable and you like making 10K with your in-person and your online, at some point, if you want to get to 10K, you need to set the fucking bridge on fire. You need to pour some gasoline on it and be like, I'm going all in. I'm committing to my dreams and there's no going back. Sink or swim, do or die. Let's fucking go. And the whole time this is happening, the major life goals, the relentless effort, incinerating the bridge, you believing in yourself so fucking hard, at getting yourself to the point where eventually you will succeed. It's like, guys, I believe this to like the core of who I am. Like, I believe that my success is inevitable. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be next week. It might not be the month after that or the year after that, but eventually I'll succeed because my intentions are good. I'm creating value and I'm showing up every single fucking day. And if you're listening to this right now and you're like, yo, Brian, that's cool. I want to get to 10K, but I just don't know fucking how. Then hire a coach and borrow that belief. Like, I want to so bad, but I just don't believe in myself. hire a coach and borrow that belief. I think that's like the most underrated part of a coaching program, period. And this is the truth for you guys too, as online fitness coaches, because I think that what people think that they're going to get with the 10K Academy is they think that they're going to get strategies and blueprints, etc. And we do give those, by the way. Like we have like step-by-step processes for like your content, templates, scripts, but that's not the gold. That's not the gold, because if that was the gold, right? If that was the goal, then all people would ever need is templates and scripts, and they wouldn't need to talk to me very much, or they wouldn't need to reach out to the community. The real goal of the 10K Coaching Academy is when you join a group of people that believe in you so fucking much, eventually you believe in yourself. That's the real secret. And it's like the best part about this is like, if you're an online fitness coach and you're trying to create impact in people's lives and you want to create a business that like lasts more than a week or a month or a year, then you need to create a culture inside of your business where you believe in your fucking clients so much that eventually they start to believe in themselves. Because if you're the reason the clients start to develop self-belief, who the fuck do you think they're going to want to stick with for the rest of their life? Like if you are the one that comes into their life and is the first person to say, I fucking believe in you, you can do this every single day, do you really think that client's going to go anywhere else? You guys feel me? My job as a coach is to believe in you so hard that eventually you start to believe in yourself. So hopefully this podcast gave you some insight as to like a layer beneath the surface, not just like the house or the Instagram followers or like the clients that I have. That's like all cool. But all of that comes as a result of like the relentless commitment to my vision every single day. It's like, I'm so fucking committed to making my dreams become a reality that I'm willing to work so fucking hard on them for 14 to 18 hours a day sometimes, because that's what the season requires. And the whole fucking time, I believe that my success is inevitable because I believe in myself so much that eventually I will be successful. And now, because I have that belief, because that's real for me, that's true for me, it's inside of me, it's a part of who I am, I can share that belief with my clients. And my job as a coach is to believe in you so fucking hard that eventually you start to believe in yourself. You feel me? That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow successful online business. We are on track for another record-breaking month in the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. So if you get value from this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you could screenshot it, share it to your story, tag me at BMarkFit, let me know that you're tuning in. And guys, I think that's it for now. So we're going to wrap up the podcast. Have the best day of your whole fucking life. I hope this started out your day on the right foot. I hope you have the best day of your life, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. What's up, fam? Brady, how are you?
Hello, I am awesome. That is exactly what I needed to hear first thing this morning, because we're actually working on positive affirmations in my private group this week. So this was perfect.
Oh, cool. I love that. What sort of affirmations are you guys working on? What made you decide to do affirmations this week? Were your clients struggling with it a little bit?
Yes, actually, yeah. I had a client in her check-in, and she's openly talked to me about it. She's very, very hard on herself. She's been absolutely killing her program, but she always struggles with just beating herself up when things aren't 100%. So,
if you guys want to hang out, I'm on Clubhouse.
I got her to write out, a list of things that she loves about herself and repeating it to herself in the mirror. So I'm like, boom, that's what we're doing for this week's challenge. So,
yep.
Yeah. And I totally have to agree. That is your superpower. I agree with Kirsten. Your superpower is your level of belief in people. And I know. I speak from experience. And you've got to work hard. Like when you say putting in 14 hours a day to work on your business, 100%. And I have to say, like half of that time for me, especially in the first year, half of that day was working on myself. Oh yeah, dude. Like it had to be, developing, like working on me, whether that's at the gym or my morning routine or my positive affirmations or journaling or whatever. And then the other half was actually, grinding in the units and setting up, my success, or learning to be a coach. But it had to start with me, because if I don't believe in me, how am I supposed to believe in my clients? Like it just, it felt like I was being an imposter if I'm like, I believe in you, but I don't believe in myself.
Yeah. And so, that's like,
everybody that's listening,
that's
like, you got to work on yourself.
That is the absolute 100% truth. And like, I feel that with every ounce of my bones is like, you have to believe in yourself first. And you have to believe in yourself first. And it's like, that comes on so many different levels, you guys. But I think the main thing for me is like, is starting. Here's the truth, right? Whatever you focus on is going to expand. And so I think that in order for us to believe in ourselves, in order for us to like really like see our potential and know what we're capable of, we need to start counting the right things. Because in life, you guys, like if I'm looking at my life right now, I could look up to I could look up to like at the things that didn't go right. Right. And so I could be like, oh man, I was late today to go to the gym, and I was 5 minutes late for my podcast today, and I don't have a podcast set up, and I'm like all over the place with my move, and my wedding's in 10 days, and I can focus on all of the things that I'm not doing right. And as a result of focusing on all the things that I'm not doing right, it's hard to believe that it's possible for me to be successful because I'm focusing on all the things that I'm fucking up on. Does that make sense? And so for me to develop self-belief, I think it's important to really start counting the right things and giving myself credit for the right things, because what will happen over time is your momentum will compound. You'll be like, look at me, like not only like am I going to the gym, but I'm feeling good in my workouts, and look at me making progress in my meals, and look at me like moving into this new house, and look at me like getting ready for my wedding, and look at me like being able to podcast on my balcony without having a setup, and look at me delivering value when I don't even have my own house set up. And like, so I'm starting to count all the things that I'm doing right. And because I'm focusing on all the things that I'm doing right, the things that I'm doing right starts to expand, right? It starts to expand. And so I think that to develop self-belief, we need to start counting the right things. We need to start counting the things that are going well for us, and the things that we're doing right, and the stacking the wins. And as we start to stack the wins, we get that like feeling of like confidence and like certainty in what we're doing. And then that is what starts to bleed into our goals and our ambitions and our dreams. But Brady, you're 100% right when you say that like half that time is spent working on yourself. I agree. Like working on my mindset is a part of my business. That's it. It's a part of my business. It's just non-fucking negotiable. You know what I mean? I am recording this. This is my podcast.
Totally agree with everything you just said.
Swipe up on my Instagram story. You can watch it. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing, Coach B. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. No, you.
Okay, I'll take it.
Did Ryan or your boy got my voice note, right?
He did. He was like super sheepish. He came upstairs and had a big smile on his face. I'm like, did you get a message? He was like, yeah. Like, I was trying to play cool. Like, it was no big deal. He made his day.
Cool.
Thanks for that.
Good. I'm glad. I'm super glad.
Thank you.
Caitlin, what's going on, girl? Welcome to the stage. Super grateful to have you here. What stuck out about the podcast for you?
Hey, thank you for having me. That
Appreciate
podcast
that.
was fucking awesome. It was honestly just a really good reminder to humble myself, because realistically, like, I just started coaching this year, and truthfully, I really just started working fucking hard in the last month or so because I've had more time. So I have to continue to work hard, like planting seeds. You can't just plant it and pluck it in a month, right? Like, it takes time, it takes seasons, and nobody knew who the fuck I was 6 months ago.
Yep.
So I have to keep fucking working.
Yep.
And if I get down on myself and I don't stay consistent, then whatever level of awareness I've brought just gets lost. So it was humbling just to remember, like, these people who are doing so fucking good put in so many years of work, and you are just a baby yourself. So keep growing.
I fucking love that. I love that. Caitlin, I literally promise you, if you keep that mentality for the next like 5 years, you'll be unstoppable. And guys, that's something that I believe myself is as well. And me and Cole have talked about this. Like, I'm a fucking nobody. Like, I'm a nobody. I think that oftentimes we can get so caught up in ourselves and like, I'm doing so much work. It's like, no, like, look at Gary Vaynerchuk and then look at you, right? That's what I compare myself to, right? So like, for me, you guys see me on social media and you're like, yo, Brian's a beast. Like, I feel like I'm a fucking nobody. And I feel like because I have that mentality, I'm putting out content every single day. I'm studying guys, I still study every day. Like, I'm still learning. Like, I'm still studying TikTok, and then I'm sharing what I'm learning with you guys. Like, I'm still studying creators that are doing well, and then I'm sharing it with you guys. Like, I'm still studying from my mentor, and then I share my lessons with you guys on this podcast and in my community. And then me and the coaches talk about what lessons we should teach in the academy next. Like, we are all still growing as coaches. And so, like, for you guys that are new to the academy, like, I think that Caitlin is so right when, like, you have to humble yourself and remember that you just got started, and this shit takes time. And if you think you're doing well, compare yourself to somebody that's like a fucking beast, like an Eric Thomas, and then ask yourself, okay, am I doing as much as him? So Caitlin, I appreciate you. And I do think that seeds become trees. And I think if you keep that mentality of like just being willing to humble yourself for the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to be unstoppable. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Christina Portelli, what is going on, girl? How are you doing? How's your life? How's your day? Talk to me. What's up? If you're tuning in and getting value, drop some fire in the live stream. Let's go.
Good afternoon here. Good morning there. Love today's podcast because it just went really hand in hand with the post that I made in 10K today. And I liked what Brady said about like how much of it was about mastering her own mindset, because I didn't see success in any part of my life until I caught my mindset up with everything. And like this show and recent events have just constantly keep proving that over and over and over and over again. And then Friday, like I was letting my emotions cripple me on the way to the show, and like Jeff took over your podcast and it was talking about fear and all this different stuff, and like it was just so fitting because I was like ready to turn the car around and just bail on the whole thing, and his podcast came at such a perfect time. So just wanted to reaffirm, like, thank you. Like, yeah, this one really hit home and I'm super grateful for it. And like I said in my post, this, again, anyone who hasn't joined 10K, like, this is the place that I go to when I'm struggling. 10K is the place that I look for people to catch me when I feel like I'm falling, or if I need some tough love, or if I just want to cheer someone on, or I want to be like, that's just, it's my go-to now. It's where I instantly want to go first to share everything in my life, because I do know that my coaches believe in me, and they've proven that and shown up time and time again for all of us. And like, even though we're 1 in 1,000 in that group, it doesn't feel that way. Like it feels so much bigger and better than that.
Boom. I want everyone to double tap their mics for Christine Portelli. That was fire. Dude, I fucking love you. I appreciate you so much. And I've had the pleasure of watching you grow into the person that you are right now, and seeing the progression. And it's just really fucking cool. I think that's like the coolest part about being a coach, honestly. And I'm sure you guys can relate to this, is when you can watch somebody go from like inside of their shell to outside of their shell and like living their best life. Like there's like no better feeling.
Exactly. And it's really cool that we get to have like opportunities like this to talk and like thank you guys and ask questions, and like, so it's like no matter how big the academy gets, we still feel like really taken care of in there.
Dude, and like that's like a commitment that I made to Cole, is like, I think the reason it took me to like the length of time that it did to scale that to level that I'm at is like, I never wanted to compromise the value of the service for the sake of like more financials, you know? Like I'm like, as this business grows, like I just absolutely refuse to have like a shitty service on the back end. Like that's like a big part of who I am. And that's a big part of also 14-hour days. Is like, not, it's like the reason we work so hard at the academy is because like I want, one of my things is like, one of my biggest visions is to have my customers be raving fans. And so that takes fucking work, man. Like you gotta I gotta be responsive to the client questions. I gotta make sure that everybody feels heard. I gotta make sure that people get their complaints answered. Like I need to make sure all that happens. So I appreciate you recognizing that. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Have the best day.
Best day ever. Samantha, what's going on, girl? What stuck out about the podcast for you?
Hey, yeah, awesome podcast today. I really like this one. Well, like I like them all, but in terms of this one, I just really like it because I get it all the time. Like people are like, oh, you know, as soon as like everything kind of like blew up, everyone was like, oh, like you're so lucky, like you've been posting for a while,
you, Austin.
but you know, like I don't know how you do it. And I was like, I've been posting for 5 years, like. Like there's no secret here. There's not like some magical, like, because all these people are like, oh well, especially like in Sarnia, because where I live is so small, they're just like, you just like came out of nowhere. And I was like, I've literally trained at 2 of the gyms here. Like I've built up a base. Like it took 4 or 5 years of actually trying, and then a pandemic hit, which obviously expedited things online. But it was just really nice to hear like your perspective of like 14-15 hour days, because there's so many people who are just like willing to just settle for like a 9 to 5, or they'll settle for, I don't know, whether it's benefits or whatever, but at the same time they'll complain about it all day. And the thing is like then they'll look at us and be like, oh well, you know, well you're working like 15 hours a day and that's ridiculous. And I was like, yeah, but when I'm like 35, you're going to be still working, and I'm going to be doing fun things, right? Like, so it's like, it's what you're willing to sacrifice at the time in order to gain later. And like it was a really good podcast, because I think a lot of people really needed to hear that they have to put in the work, and that everyone around them isn't going to understand, and they just have to be okay with that if they really want this.
Yep, I love that so much. And I think that not only that, you guys, like when you have a sickening fucking work ethic, like, and Samantha, you have a sickening work ethic. I heard Cole gave you shit because you were posting 8 times a day on TikTok. Yeah, you were probably expecting some praise, and then he's like, no, fucking stop that. So when you have a sickening work ethic, what ends up happening is that people in your life don't understand, or they'll judge you, or they'll make fun of you, or they'll like almost like cast you out, like almost like, yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, sure, you're gonna fucking be a successful online fitness coach. We'll see you back here, right? That's what people said to me when I was, like when I was younger. When I started to say I wanted to grow a coaching business, I'd tell people, no, okay, right? And then when I did it, it went from like okay to like I started getting a lot of like hate. Like there would be some people that would like love me, and then I'd start getting people that would like hate me because I was fucking being successful. And for me, I'm like, how can you hate me? Like I was literally you like 2 years ago. I just put the fucking work in for 2 years and I got success. And so I think that, yeah, not a lot of people are going to understand, but it's not about that. Like coming from somebody who is like currently living like the life of my dreams on like every level, like fitness, finances, relationships, all of it. I think that it is about like, you got to be willing to put the work in, because like why the fuck would I not work on something that I'm excited about every single day? Like I'm excited about my business. I'm excited about my physique. I'm excited about the gym. I'm excited about being on this podcast. I love that I get to talk to, it's like 50 people here right now. There's 20 on Instagram, there's 18 on Instagram, there's 4 on TikTok, there's 6 on Facebook still, there's 30 people in the Clubhouse room. Like I fucking love this shit. I live for this. And so like, why would I not work on it if I was loving it so much? And like, the more that I work on something that I love, the more passionate my energy is all day, and the more that I'm aligned, and the more that things just come to me. So like, that's, if you're fucking tuning in, like this is available to all of you. This is not like a secret sauce, but you got to be willing to put in the fucking work. And Samantha, you definitely have that.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, honestly, that's awesome. Like, just, yeah, thanks again. Really good podcast.
I stalked Samantha on social media and convinced her to join my program for like 30 days. Because when I saw how much she posted, well, I was like, I would just ask random questions, and then I would just like ghost them for like a day. But I was like, I literally, she was like making like 4K a month, and I would DM her 4 to 5K, and I was like, you need to fucking be in my academy, because the amount that you post, there's no reason you're not at 10 every day. I'm like, you need to join, you need to join, you need to join, you need to join. And then what number did you hit 10K? What number was it?
It was 149.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I like that. Appreciate you, girl.
Thanks. Congrats on the house again.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you at it for the event. Bah!
Sounds good.
Miss Mackenzie Grace, what's up? Welcome to the stage. How you doing? How's your day?
What's up, fam? What's going on? The day's been pretty good so far. I love Mondays personally.
Same.
Yeah, it was good. I just like side note, if I was watching this from my apartment, there's like a crazy crash, and they were like, I got up at 4:30 this morning, and the car was there, and it was until 11 that they finally kind of cleared everything up. So that was kind of crazy to watch, as being a little sneaky. But yeah, anyways, back to the podcast. I thought that was really great. I really liked where you were talking about how you're like focusing more on like the positive sides of things. Like, you're like really busy, and so maybe you're a few minutes later, whatever, on some things, but instead of focusing on that, you're still focusing on all the things you're doing right. And I feel like that was just kind of my biggest takeaway on this podcast, because I feel like sometimes I still kind of slip in, and I'll be like, oh, I missed this, or I didn't know that, I could have done better, like almost like a perfectionist mindset.
Yep.
I'm still trying to let go of, but then like I realize like things like, okay, like recently I've just been having a lot of gratitude because I'm a year in business, and I remember last year when I joined the academy,
I remember too.
thinking about quitting my job, and I literally had like no online experience. I literally just certified, and now I'm like literally I'm like on my way to 10K. Like I'm still I gotta break through that financial thermostat, but it's just kind of crazy to think that. And it was super humbling, because I was talking to one of my older friends not long ago, just a few days ago, and she's just like living paycheck to paycheck and like doesn't know what to do, and it's just like really stressed, and it's just like, wow, like I'm super grateful to be in the position that I'm in now, and then like serve all these clients and make 6+ K a month, like, so yeah, it's just a great podcast, and it just really hit me when you're like, yeah, so focusing on these small things, focus on the good things, because you're right, like the good things just get better, and kind of keep going in that direction.
Dude, and I think number one, yes. Yo, if you have enough money to pay your bills, and you're alive, and you are like feeding yourself, and especially if you're an online coach that's making money, like you have nothing to fucking bitch about. Because Mackenzie's right. There are some people that are literally like living paycheck to paycheck, not sure what they want to do with their life. They're like unhappy and they don't know how to get out. And you are listening to this fucking podcast. So even if you've started your business or not, the fact that you're listening to this podcast means that you're committed to growth. So like you're committed to growth, you're in the right community, you're on the right track, you're in the right place. Like there's so many fucking things to feel good about and so many things to be excited about. So for you to focus on anything that takes away your fucking guys, the energy, I think the key to success is like really keeping your thoughts aimed in a positive direction. I've talked about this on like the last like 6 Clubhouse rooms or podcasts that I have, because when we start to like be like, oh, I'm late and this isn't working and this isn't working, that's when we start to doubt ourselves, and doubt is the enemy of belief. And so if you start stacking up all the things that are going wrong or that you're not doing right, then you start to doubt yourself, and then you start to doubt your own belief. And so I think that that's a really, really good takeaway, Mackenzie, and I appreciate you for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm excited to see you in September.
Let's fucking go, homie. Guys, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives Make Money on the Trainer podcast. If you are my client, you want to win $1,000, we are giving away $1,000 in literally 7 days. So screenshot this, share it to your stories, hashtag I'm here, the 10K Academy. And that's it. That's all. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Coach B, is there anything that you wanted to say before we end the room?
No, just everybody have the best Monday ever, and we love you lots.
Boom. Peace and love, guys. Have the best day ever. We'll talk to you soon. Let's fucking go. Yo, Jamie, I fucking love you, bro. Good to see you. See you guys. Have the best day ever. Josh, appreciate you. Lisa, appreciate you. Bye, guys. See you later. Facebook, much love. Talk to you soon. Fatty, I appreciate you, bro.